Okay, this is it. We're doing this for real. 4 towers, 4 teams. Let's fucking go.
I love that they just fucking left the van there.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised they even bothered to render the van in here at all.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that too, honestly.
It would have been kind of funny if, like, Mr. Goro just kept the van and his section's just, fucking Wipeout. Or not Wipeout, Burnout? I can't remember the name of these games now.
Yeah, Wipeout's the one with the floating future cars.
Right, not F-Zero.
Yeah, no, if this game suddenly turned into Wipeout out of nowhere, we'd have to grab, like, Jamie and bring him in here for it. Which, again, honestly, I don't think I'd want to torture Jamie with, any length of this game. Especially because he'd basically be going like, what the fuck is happening the whole goddamn time?
I mean, to be fair, isn't that basically everybody's reaction to what's going on?
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, like, honestly, that's kind of been my reaction to everything too, so maybe he wouldn't be that out of the loop.
So yeah, each of the 4 towers more or less looks exactly like this. I'm not entirely sure what the aesthetic is supposed to be here, but it works, whatever it is.
I'm getting some really big, like, Bionis interior vibes from this whole place, honestly.
That's what I was thinking. If you see a big blobby thing, that's just regenerating its HP, just fucking run. Don't bother. It's not worth the time.
I mean, that's being a little facetious. I know exactly what this is. This is the game ripping off Trails to Azure as hard as it possibly can and hoping nobody notices.
I mean, neither of us have had any experience with that game, so we probably don't notice it.
Yeah, so instead we'll just talk about the game we do have experience with.
Speaking of which, if you haven't yet, go watch the Xenoblade Chronicles LP. It was really good, and I'm not just saying that because I was a part of it.
So some of these sections are harder than others. The Sora Yuki one is not. This is definitely one of the easiest chunks of the final dungeon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this seems pretty straightforward so far.
I mean, this is probably helped by the fact that Sora is, like, second only to Shio in terms of just being able to fucking destroy everything in her path, so that helps a lot, because everyone, like, each group will have to fight a robot like this, and, well, suffice to say that they will not all go down that easily.
Does that mean everyone else's little chunks of the dungeon are like this, where it's mostly straightforward, or does everyone else have a little different gimmick to it?
They all have slightly different gimmicks, although most of them are going to be like this. I think Ko's is the only one that's, like, really notably different.
Wait, why are we going back to start?
Because we opened up this path here.
Oh, okay.
So it should be noted that just like the other dungeon at the end of Chapter 7, we are rated on each of the individual sections, so getting all 4 S ranks is actually quite tight.
Does each section at least have like a lower like combo threshold that you have to clear?
Oh no. No, the thresholds are all still the same.
Oh god.
Gonna say, in all likelihood, you're gonna probably bank most of your points in just making sure you have the right elemental kills and just going fast. Like, I know for sure I did not get 200 in this one. I think I got the 100 bonus, but I don't remember for sure.
Yeah, there was a lot of dead space between some of the teleporting, so I'm not surprised you couldn't manage 200.
Anyway, Sora just bullied that guy out of existence.
Good job, Sora.
You know, missed opportunity for her to insist that he calls her Sora.
Yeah, that would be a nice little culmination to the brief bits of character development that they've gotten together over the course of the game. Also, people have been calling him just Yuki for, like, damn near, like, the whole game at this point. Why is he getting so weird about Sora, just not referring to him by last name?
Search your feelings, Crow. You know the answer to that question.
He's got the hots for her.
I thought you were pointing that more towards the localization kind of missed something in translation there.
Oh, that too, but still. Like, at this point, it's like, localization team fucked up, original Japanese script fucked up, take your pick. They're both basically batting 1,000 at this point. Batting 1,000 in fuck-ups, I mean, not in, like, they've actually gotten stuff right.
I mean, from what the folks in the thread have said, the original Japanese script is not as bad. Like, I am not absolving it by any means, but from what people have said, the majority of the fuck-ups are on Axis.
So yeah, basically, one sort of wonders, like, what this, I guess, script or, like, what the game would be like in the hands of a slightly more competent localizer.
I mean, in all honesty, you would probably get something very similar to Cold Steel 1 and 2, which were done by, Xseed.
Oh god, yeah, Xseed would have just, like, basically gone up one side of this game and down the other in terms of, like, you know, how well they do their translations and stuff, so...
I don't know why I thought Cold Steel 1 and 2 were Nisa. They did other games from Falcom, but...
Yeah, okay, so Nisa took over Falcom stuff starting with Ys 8, which, well, Ys 8 was the first one they did, and then from there they did Cold Steel 3 and 4 and Ys 9.
None of them ever got as bad as, after Ys 8. Like, none of them ever got as bad as Ys 8, right?
Oh god, no. No, Ys 8 is just a... Mwah. Mwah. Chef kiss. It's perfect.
Archaeozoic big hole, baby.
I genuinely cannot believe that they patched that out of the game. Like, I would have... If I was tasked with localizing that, like, under the circumstances that they had to do the second pass, I would have left that in there, like, as a meme. Like, you just own that one. Take that L.
Like, it is it sounded like a very perfect descriptor for the area.
The best example of that I can think of recently, like, from my experience again, is just, like, one of the free DLC releases for Ace Combat 7, in one pack, they had an error with, like, one of the skin textures of one of the planes that they released, to the point where, if you tried to, like, do, like, a landing sequence at nighttime, the glowy bits on the plane sort of malfunctioned, and they turned the entire plane into a big, giant, floating glow stick.
Dude, that's incredible.
I know, and Project Aces, to their credit, they were like, holy shit, this is amazing. So they actually released a proper DLC for one of the super planes that is just, yeah, no, the glow effect is on all the time now. Yes, we've leaned into it. You're welcome.
Yeah, no, the retranslated name for the big hole is the Archaeozoic Chasm, which is technically more correct, but you know in your heart it's still wrong. But the power couple here is having things a bit rougher of a time. Mostly because I cannot just be bothered to dodge anything with Shio, so he's gotten hit with like 4 different things with poison and at least 2 paralysis.
Well, that's why you should be using Mitsuki's shield to help him.
But the shield doesn't persist when you change characters, Argate.
Well, that's why you gotta be quick on the draw with switching and shield. You can do microsecond frame perfect transitions and button presses, right, Ardix?
I mean, I can do a frame perfect trick in, like, Ocarina of Time that runs, like, fucking 20 frames a second.
Yeah, that's probably way less likely on PS5, where this game's probably running at a very, very smooth and locked 60.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it ran at 60 even on PS4, but yes, this game is definitely running at a more or less locked 60.
Yeah, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me to know that even on like a base PS4, this would run at 60. Like, it is a Vita game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, at its core, this is a Vita game, so, you know, even with some graphical upgrades, the PS4 is still handling it very easily.
Again, I think just referring to it as just a Vita game kind of does it a disservice, or at the very least is, like, sort of grading it on a curve, because, like, I've seen some really incredible Vita games over the course of, like, the Vita's short, sad lifespan. This is, like, again, the same platform on which Killzone Mercenary is on, and, like, that thing was putting out, like, stuff that was almost comparable to, you know, a full-power PS3, probably early PS4 game as well, so...
Yeah, I do seem to remember one of the selling points of the Vita was that you could play full-on PS3 games on the go.
Yep.
I mean, that did end up needing a few asterisks, but...
Yeah, you just have to, you know, buy a whole second copy of the game. It's as a concept, I think the idea was a little ahead of its time.
A small sacrifice to make for the king of all consoles.
No, that's the PlayStation TV, Crow, please.
Oh, right.
The Vita that doesn't work as a Vita because it doesn't have the touch controls. And you have to, like, do some weird bullshit with, like, the R2 and L2 triggers on a PS3 controller.
You're right, like, I remember it now, because that was literally what we had to use to actually LP Killzone Mercenary, was the PS Vita TV. I had to buy a fucking $30 HDMI splitter just for that one goddamn game. And I wasn't even the one who recorded it, Blind Sally did.
Why didn't you buy it then?
Because that's just the kind of generous friend I am.
Oh, you bought it for him. Okay.
I'm gonna need a citation needed on that.
Also, he split it like 50-50. So, like, I know, ironically, we split the cost of the splitter.
I mean, that just means you get to take one feed from the splitter and he gets the other.
I was gonna say, yeah, so are you taking the encrypted feed or the broken one?
Flip that coin, take your pick.
Alright, so, number 3. This one fucking sucks.
Oh god, it looks like it does right out of the gate.
And I mean, I suppose if you really want to have fun, you could imagine that instead I did this with Rion and Mr. Goro.
Oh, fuck. Does Mr. Goro, at least being like an unstoppable tank, like make up for this in any way, or no?
Oh no. Oh, Mr. Goro is... There is a reason that I said in the last video that I sent Asuka with him because he needed a better babysitter.
And jeez, I thought you were just talking plot-wise.
Mr. Goro's combos just look so awkward. Like, they don't really flow all that well.
Also, it's finally here. We have it's hooked to the final dungeon, but we have seen the Earth Elemental now. That's what this definitely not a recolored ice animation was.
And yet we have still not seen the goddamn Wind Elemental.
Oh, don't worry, we're gonna see that one too.
Why the fuck didn't they just put it in the game already? Tokyo Xanadu, you continue to confound me with your weird stupidity.
This just kind of feels like they realized too late that they had it, but and decided, fuck it, just throw it in here. We got no time to rebalance this.
Yeah, the wind one is just a green fire one, so...
That would be fucking hilarious if it actually was a, like, unique version of those elementals and just it only shows up literally once in the game.
Anyway, shoutouts to Mr. Goro's quartz that just paralyzes enemies because it is literally the only thing that makes this section, like, tolerable.
But also, yeah, like, those two were proper elemental kills for Mr. Goro, but, like, the section, like, before this, and, like, the one before that one, just been, like, how the hell do you deal with that weird hodgepodge, hodgepodge of, like, elementals that, like, it's just throwing fucking everything at you?
I mean, you don't. You decide which of the enemies that you want to kill the most, and you just roll with those elements. I mean, it's no different than any of the other dungeons that have, like, 6 different elemental monsters in them. It's just that it feels even worse here because you are specifically limited to just 2 characters. Thank God for invincibility frames when you're using EX attacks, because, like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, he seems super obnoxious to deal with if you're not abusing the shit out of iframes.
Like I said, I also got really lucky with that paralysis proc, and he just had to stand there and do nothing for a while.
Oh, it's payback for him basically just putting freeze on Mr. Goro at the start of the fight to, like, take him out for, like, nearly a solid minute there.
It will never not make me laugh that we can open chests by shooting them.
Assuming you're lined up properly, I mean.
Just fucking no-scoping a chest and being like, oh, I got a potion.
After he tries, like, 3 other times to shoot it and fails. Fucking crack military marksman Seiki Goro can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Well, you know, he's trying to compensate for a moving target, and, you know, the fact that it's just a box is causing him some problems.
Yeah, he's never trained to shoot stationary targets.
Like, they have gun ranges in Japan, don't they?
I mean, I assume the military must.
I don't know that Japan actually has a military, and as far as I understand, gun control laws are really strict over there.
Yeah, like, Japan's version of a mass shooting is just like someone stabbing like 3 people on a subway and they all survive because, again, it's just one doofus with a knife. Good job, Artix. You got it eventually.
I'm telling you, those boxes are just impossible to hit. It can't be done.
At that rate, you should have just, like, whacked it with the rifle.
Again, another Mr. Goro special, taking a swig of some mysterious liquid and then just immediately unloading your gun right in front of you. We know he loves to chain smoke like a motherfucker. Are we sure he's not like a prolific drinker too? Really, that would explain a hell of a lot about Mr. Goro if we just assume, yeah, he's been fucking drunk since the start of the game.
He did say he has a favorite brewery, doesn't he?
Yeah, in fact, that was why he went hiking in the first place. I mean, not the first place, but, you know, it was definitely a concern that was noted.
I've just noticed these things have a gigantic codpiece.
I mean, that's not really anything new for mecha design.
I suppose not.
Yeah, like that. There are some serious Zone of the Enders going on here with this thing. Good old Zoe, where Hideo Kojima decided to, again, just throw subtlety up in the air and shoot it with a bazooka and just make the cockpit a literal cockpit.
When has Kojima ever been subtle?
Never, but, like, Zone of the Enders is like a special kind of absolutely unsubtle.
Anyway, I'm very proud of you, Mr. Goro. You finally managed to kill that robot by stun locking it. I'm actually amazed that I got the S rank on that, but you know what? We take those. Even the ones that are only just.